Alright, so real quick I want to show you how Bulkly works when you upload a CSV file. So what you're going to do is once you're logged into Bulkly is you're going to click on the Content Upload tab over here on the left. And once you're inside the Content Upload section, you're going to click on this blue button that says Upload Content CSV. From there you're going to go select the CSV file that you created earlier and you're going to open it. So what's going to happen is Bulkly is going to take that content from the CSV file and import it into Bulkly. So from here is where you're actually going to tell Bulkly what to do with all this content. So I'll run through each of these options real quick. The first thing you'll notice is that it'll show all your accounts that are connected to Buffer that get pulled into Bulkly. So from here you'll click on each account that you want these posts to be sent to. You can click on one of them, some of them, all of them. It doesn't really matter. It's just however you want to do it. If you want to unselect one, you just click it again and it will deselect it. For this, I'm just going to select this account right here. So all posts will be sent to this particular social account. Bulkly has several different options of what you can do with the content. The first option is it can recycle your post. What that means is that Bulkly will continuously send the content from this group to your Buffer account. So if you want to use this, you're just going to click this button here to enable recycling. Another option you can do is tell Bulkly to wait at least X amount of days before it sends the same post again. So for example, if I don't want to have the same post sent to my Buffer account for at least 3 days, I can choose to do so. The next option is auto add image. What this will do is Bulkly will automatically try to add an image to your status update if it's possible. So if you want to do this, you just enable it. And the way it works is Bulkly looks for the social image that is typically shared on social for that particular link, and if it finds it, it'll share it or add it into your Buffer account. If not, it'll just skip it and won't attach an image. However, you do have the option to enter a direct URL to an image in Bulkly. For example, we'll look at this first update. We can see that this line right here is a direct image or a direct link to an image that will be attached. If you have a URL listed for your image and auto add image selected, this URL will always happen first. The next option is shuffle post. And what happens when you click this, Bulkly will send the post in a random order the next time around. So if you have 20 posts in this group, it'll send all 20, and then the next time when it starts from the beginning to recycle, it'll reshuffle them and send them in a different order. So this is so your status updates don't come across as being in the same order again and again. The next option is hashtags. So Bulkly will allow you to choose and use different hashtags depending on which social media channel the update will be added to. So for example, you can have different hashtags for Facebook than you do for Twitter. The other thing you can do is you can actually have random hashtags with Bulkly. And the way you do that is you use little kind of curly brackets, and then you just type in your hashtag. So we'll say hashtag 1, and then you separate your next hashtag with using the pipe symbol, which is the straight up and down. So you'd have hashtag 2, and these could be, you know, whatever you want. You can do as many as you want or as few as you want. It's entirely up to you. So we'll just put in 3 for now. And then when you're done, you just close it with the curly bracket again. And then you just hit save. But since I'm going to be posting to a Facebook account, I'm going to make sure to enter those hashtags here for Facebook. And then I'll hit save. Next thing is the schedule. So the way Bulkly works is it actually uses your Buffer schedule. And so what that means is anytime Bulkly sends a piece of content to your social media account, it adds it to the very end of your queue. So within Bulkly, you can tell it how often do you want to drip this content into your Buffer account. You can do hourly, daily, weekly, monthly. For this example, I'm going to do hourly, and I'm going to say I want to send it 30 times an hour. So that means about once every 2 minutes an update from this group will be sent to my Buffer account. You also have the option to set a start date. So for example, if you don't want to start sending these posts until next week, you could easily, pick a future date for Bulkly to start sending the content to. You can also send an optional end date. So if you're like only want to run this until April 21st of 2019 at 9 a.m. That's all you got to do. This next option says sent to top of buffer queue. And what this means is when you have it enabled, when Bulkly sends the content to buffer, instead of adding it to the end of the queue like I explained earlier, it's actually going to add it to the very top. So if you want to make sure it gets posted sooner rather than later, you can enable it right here. And the next option is only send if the queue has at least X empty slots. So what this means is that this group, when you have this enabled, will not send to buffer unless you have, in this case, let's say at least 40 empty spots in my queue. So this allows you to still have room to add stuff on your own or go in and make changes and updates in buffer if you'd like. If there's less than 40 spots in the queue, then Bulkly will not send a piece of content to your buffer account until it has less than the number you set here. So once you have all your settings done, you hit save, and the last thing you need to do is activate your group. Now before you activate it, you can go in and make changes to these updates if you'd like. For example, maybe I want to make this say 2019, maybe the URL changes, or I need to change the image. You can make them here and then just save them when you're done. So what we're going to do is go ahead and activate this group, and then what's going to happen is Bulkly is going to start to drip in this content into the selected buffer accounts, buffer social accounts that you have selected here. So we're going to jump on over to the buffer account and check it out. So we can see that this group already has stuff that's being added. I'm going to go ahead and clear it out real quick so that we can see the content be added in real time. Now remember, I said it would send about every 2 minutes, so it might take a minute or two before we see something pop up. You can see that the content is starting to drip in. So we can see that it's got the text from my update, it's got the URL I want to share, and it's got the image that's attached. And you can see more content's being added in as well. So that's really it. Bulkly works pretty well. You can see that this queue is populating really quick because I have multiple groups sending to it actually. But basically, if you use buffer or use Bulkly, you can really keep your buffer queues full all the time within just a few minutes of initial setup. I'd love for you to try it out. If you've got any questions, be sure to shoot me an email and I'll be happy to help.